Let me tell you something. This whole boy and man thing is important. It's very important. So earlier I gave examples of actions of a man. Let me give you an example of a boy. So that last video, I had someone say, well, nigga, what about right there? Right there. That is the perfect example of a boy. It's just that simple. Let's break it down like this. So you could not like anything that I said, right? You could not like anything that's coming from me. That's not the issue. The issue is you don't see the value in it for someone else. That's the issue. That's the issue. And that is the reason why, or helps perpetuate the issues that we have going on right now. Because the problem is, when it comes down to a daggone boy, a boy's response is always going to be, or I should say a reaction, but a boy's reaction is always going to be based on something outside of them. That's what it's going to be. A boy finds it difficult to be able to relax themselves to the degree in which they're able to retain something that they hear. It's difficult for a boy to do it because a boy listens with the intent to talk. That's how a boy is used to operating. That is how a boy comes to the perspectives that boys come to. Your response to me is about me. What does that do? What does that do? Because I can break down what it is you're doing. It's called a smoke screen, or you're deflecting, or you're running, or you're hiding. That's what you're doing. I know. I've done that before. Bro, I mastered that shit. I've mastered that shit. So I'm able to see it. Because, and I feel like I mentioned this in the video before, when it comes down to a man, when a boy says certain things, a man understands what that is. Men don't worry themselves with words from a boy. That doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. And at bare minimum, a boy should always understand that a man doesn't give a fuck what a boy have to say. Especially if that boy doesn't desire to be a man. That's how a man keeps a boy in his place. A man doesn't worry himself with the words of a fucking boy. A man doesn't do that. A man has mercy for a boy. Especially when the man understands that that boy hasn't been given the opportunity to be a boy in the presence of a man. So that man gives that boy grace because he understands where this perspective is coming from. Now, a man understands that, man, this boy is hurting. This boy is going through, and rightfully so. But a man has to be clear. He has to make it clear. A man has to be crystal clear that he doesn't give a fuck about your opinion of him. Ever. Not to that degree. Ever. A boy can rant and rave all the boy wants. All a man sees is a fucking temper tantrum. So I encourage all boys, allow yourself to be guided, man. Allow yourself to be spoken to. Allow yourself to hear. And understand, usually the shit you don't want to hear is the shit you need to hear. Trust that. The shit you don't want to hear is the shit you need to hear. There ain't a mistake on this damn planet, damn near, that I haven't made. I fucked up so much shit in my years leading up to now. Oh my God, I can write a book on that shit. It ain't about being perfect, man. It's about learning from the mistakes that we've made, because those are lessons, baby. That's all they are. They're lessons. They're lessons. A man understands that, and a man does not allow himself to be judged for his damn mistakes. And I have to be clear about this, because everyone runs from making mistakes and everything else. A man doesn't get to the point the point of being a man to look back and say, oh man, I didn't make any mistakes. That's not what this is, man. We got to fix this shit. But never get it fucking twisted, man. A man doesn't give a fuck about what a boy got to say. No.